Welcome to the nightclub, guys. I'm your host, Night Wrench. It's been about 3 weeks since I released my last video, and it was a welcome back video. I was in hiatus for about 6 months, and I decided to jump back in. The only problem was I was in the middle of getting all my new software and hardware set up, but after doing this video, I'm actually pretty confident in the new setup that I have. The video you're seeing right now is me working on my 73 Dodge Charger. The old fuel tank had a bunch of holes in it, and it was very damaged on the bottom from previous owners. They intended moving the car with the floor jack, but instead of lifting it from the differential, they lifted it from the gas tank. And it's been like that for the last 15 years since I've had it. And finally I decided to drop the tank and replace it with the brand new one. Overall, to take it off probably took no more than maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. A lot of the bolts were really rusty, and it was just a real pain in the butt to get them off. But overall, the actual process didn't take too long, as you can see in the video. It was pretty straightforward. I looked it up online before actually getting down to it. It's pretty straightforward, just 2 straps, the fuel line, the fuel center connector, the filler tube is 1 bolt, and then 1 hose clamp to get it off, and then you undo the evap lines in the back, and then the tank comes out. Pretty straightforward. Because it was damaged, I did end up drilling a hole on the bottom of the tank to drain the remaining gasoline. I think there were about 2 gallons left in there, and then it was completely dry. And that's me finishing up the process of the tank. And while I was doing that, actually my brother was working on his W100. He had an oil leak, and he decided to replace the seal. And while he was there, he decided to redo his oil pan. It was in really rough shape, so he decided to sand it down and then spray it with some etching primer, and then go back and then repaint it with engine paint. He's actually really bad at spray painting, so this was a learning process for him, more so than actually trying to make it look nice. It's a work truck, so it's not too important that it comes out perfect, but he got it done. As for me, I got back onto the tank. I had to sand down the old tape that the old owner of my new tank had put, I guess to prevent rubbing, or I'm not sure why he did that, but it was a pain in the butt. It was really old tape, and it took me a long time to get that off. I used a combination of like sandpaper and the torch just to get that off. It wasn't really fun at all. I couldn't find really an easy way. I tried using brake cleaner and then rubbing it off, but it just revived the glue, and then that made a mess. So then really I just used a torch, try to get it as crispy as I could, and then finally just kind of wire wheel it off. It didn't come out the best, but I sprayed it afterward with etching primer. I was thinking about just painting it black, but then because the tank is so exposed, I wanted a thicker coating of something, and I happen to have a bucket of bed liner, old bed liner laying around. So I decided to go ahead and try to see how it would work out. As you can see, I'm putting on the first coat. It's a really thin. The one I used was a Duplicolor version. There were other like Herculiner and some other ones, but it takes about 3 coats to get it decent. The first coat came out just hideous, and that's when I realized I needed to hit it with 2 more coats. As you can see, I actually flip it around and then just paint the edges of the outside edges of the top of the tank, because the very top of the tank tank isn't gonna get seen. The sides and possibly the back and front will. So I went back and I did do the outside edges, just so I don't have any inconsistencies when people are looking at the car for whatever reason. And I just did one coat on the top. I wasn't too worried about how it looked. I just needed it to be black and textured. So after the second coat, the tank ended up looking a lot better actually. I was actually surprised of the difference the second coat actually makes, and I still had a bunch left over inside the can, so I ended up going for the third coat. And I guess I could call it the vanity coat, because that's where I decided to go ahead and make all the touch-ups and make sure the strokes were all the same way. And really I didn't use much. I just used just enough to get the pattern and the texture that I wanted, and it's really just on the face of it and a little bit on the edges, just to blend it. You can see that I'm barely like spilling a little bit on it, not like I was before, and it's just so I can get the texture nice and consistent and even. I'm actually pretty happy with the way it turned out. That's still probably what, 30 minutes in after I painted it with the bed liner, but overall I feel like this is actually going to hold against like rock chips and pieces of tire on the freeway more in compared to other coatings. What you're seeing right now is actually a old oil pan that I decided to repair, because it's going to be the pan I'm going to be installing on the Charger. I'm actually going to be putting a different engine. It's got a 361 right now, and I'm going to be replacing it possibly with the 440, and the 440 is coming out of a motorhome engine. So it's got the truck oil pan, and I do have a deep sump car oil pan, but the problem is that the bottom is just completely wasted. It's got holes everywhere. So I'm going to see if instead of buying another $80 oil pan, I'm going to see if I can just take the original oil pan and use that to just basically repair the old oil pan that I have, and then basically I'll invest almost nothing in getting it perfect. The process is pretty straightforward. I just went ahead and I measured 2 inches all the way around to get the cap off. It actually came out pretty even. The rusty oil pan actually had a lot of grime in it. I was not very happy with that, but a little bit of WD-40 managed to get all of that out. It actually took me a while. It took me longer to clean it and deburr it more than it took me to cut it, because it's such an old oil pan. The rust was really penetrated in, and I didn't happen to have my torch on me, so I couldn't pull out the moisture out of the rust. Whenever you have rusty parts, it's always good to heat it up and get the moisture out, because it gets trapped in there, and even if you paint it, the parts will continue rusting because of the moisture, and that's not something you really want to do. So I went ahead and right now I'm just sanding the edges so I can get it ready for welding, and then I went ahead and sanded the inside to get all the rusty pieces out, and I got it nice and shiny to a point, and it's probably as good as it's gonna get. And it came out pretty decent. The only thing I'm worried about is welding it back together. I'm wondering if the welder that I have won't poke holes in the sheet metal, but I won't know until I bring the torch, because I do have to make some modifications to the cap to make it sit perfect. Aside from it, the small ding on the corner that I'm trying to beat out right now, overall it fits perfect. I did have to flip it because on a car oil pan you want the drain plug to face the inside rather than the outside because of the cross member, so that way you're able to change the oil a lot easier, and that's something that I will be taking care of as soon as I start welding it back in. So there you have it. That's what I've been doing these last 2 or 3 weeks. I've been meaning to put out a video, but I didn't have the right shots, and I've had a lot of old video that I really wanted to bring out. So my goal starting this week is to get one video up per week, using a little bit of the new footage that I'm going to be taping, and then mixing in the old footage that I took before, all the way until I get caught up to where I am right now. It probably shouldn't take more than about 2, maybe 3 more videos, and then I should be caught up, and then I'll be able to get to the task at hand. Right now I do have a rebuilt transmission for my charger. I gotta finish the 3VZ. I gotta install the gas tank. There's just so many things I need to do, and I hope you guys will be patient with me while I get caught up. I'm actually excited with this new software that I'm using to edit the videos. They're going to come out much nicer, much cleaner and concise to how I originally wanted to do it. The old software was really limiting my capabilities to make videos, but I feel like right now I'm in a better point in time. So be patient with me, bear with me. It'll be a little bit of time, but I will get the content out that you guys have been asking for. So like I said, I am going to be posting up one video log per week, and if I do end up making a second one during any particular week, it will be some sort of technical video, and I don't have an idea of which one to do first. So if you guys want to put something in the description that maybe you guys are interested or want to learn or want to see me do, I could probably do that real quick. Or if it's something that takes longer, maybe start filming for a future video, so I can get that out. It'll help me put out more videos, and it'll help you because you guys will get what you want to see. So in conclusion, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Night Wrencher out.